Hi, guys.
Hi, Vladislav.
Okay, traditionally, let's wait a couple minutes for everyone to join. And then we will start. We're so few today. Okay.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, hi. How are you?
Hi, everyone. Greetings from Istanbul.
Hi, Ahmed. How are you? How are Friton Turkey is doing?
Yeah, we are working hard to establish business in Turkey and create awareness. We already started negotiation with the eminent companies in Turkey with Nodira. We are right now developing a new plan. I hope in a short while we will start generating good results.
Okay, very good.
We are also collaborating with the guy who has been nominated as a Turkish sub-governance for over 1 year on the Friton called Eugeny. We try to combine with him our powers, but we are working locally. He's in Moscow. We should do face-to-face meetings. Business culture is a little bit different here, and support of the Nodira, we created a good synergy. We are going from our own way to achieve good results.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so let's start. So I think we should not wait for anyone anymore. So welcome everyone at our 34th weekly DeFi governance call of the Friton. So we have a few topics to discuss today, but I think that they will be interesting. So we didn't have the call last week because of AIBC event, and part of active members of the DeFi sub-governance, we are attending this event, and they will tell today so what was going on, and are there any interesting stuff that relates to the DeFi world. And I think that we will start from AIBC results. And Alexander, what are you here? So you wanted to start? Alex?
Yes.
Yeah, perfect.
Here. No, at all, conference was amazing, interesting. Maybe some problem with organization from organizers, not from Friton side. It sometimes was hard to understand where some meetings, some speakers, but if we look in our parts of conference and Friton stand, every time was so crowded, so many people. It means that people interested in what Friton doing, why, how, etc. And we had a little section, DeFi section there. And sometimes comes people who want to speak about DeFi on Freeton, and I had a different conversation with, for example, First Inch comes, CEO First Inch comes, and we had big speech and about our partnership, possible partnership, and we decide to connect after that. Maybe you'll be interested. It's for us, I think, interesting. Sometimes centralized exchange like LAToken, owner of LAToken, and we start from speaking that do we want to connect with a centralized exchange and listing our token, and we start from that, okay, you can list and then pay for that. I ask, okay, it's maybe for us not so interesting for listing in centralized exchange and pay for that. Maybe you need to know more about Freeton, and maybe you will interested in Freeton. And after conversation, we connect through WhatsApp, and he answered that, okay, we can listen without payment, free for you, because he understands that it's interesting blockchain. I mean that it was a good idea to be Freeton in such conference, and I think it's a good idea to do in the future. And of course, if we talk about, for example, about me, I will connect with all this possible partnership to do this partnership, yes. And if somebody has interesting conversation about Freeton DeFi section, they can now discuss and say to us what it was. Yes, thank you.
Thank you. So maybe we can even invite the CEO of 1inch at one of our calls and have some interesting discussion about the decentralized exchanges and the problems and issues, perspectives of the future in different networks, because they as an aggregator, so they know more than I guess all of us combined all together, and it will be really interesting to have such a guest and discuss some questions with him.
Yes, it's a good idea. I will try to connect with him, and in this case, at start he wanted to speak about listing Freeton only in his wallet.
Okay.
Will they want to do more? I'm not sure, but we need to speak, discuss, and I told with Alexander Filatov, he said it's a good idea, we need to talk together, and we will try to do it.
Okay, perfect. Very good. Alexander, maybe Filatov, maybe you can tell us more about what was going on in Dubai, and were there any interesting topics that you managed to discuss in terms of DeFi?
I mean, it's kind of, I think Alexander said it right. It's for me, it's like kind of 8 out of 10. There were some leads. I would not say some breakthrough leads. Like, I don't think LAToken is the most reputable exchange.
Absolutely.
Yes.
The other end of the spectrum, from my personal standpoint, although I like the founder, he's a cool guy, Valentin, but a little bit of a dreamer. I mean, everybody knows, I guess, that we won the Blockchain Innovation of the Year category, thanks to the voting by our community.
Yeah, how it was actually. So tell us your emotions. So who did we compete with actually?
Well, we compete with, of course, I think there was Coinbase, Kraken, Binance, ourselves, and Polkadot.
Really? So we bet all of them.
I'm just kidding. No, I wish. No, I think it was in our categories. There was, I think, Cardano, if I'm not mistaken, and I think there was 1inch. So those were the two ones worth mentioning, and the rest I don't even know who the other folks are. And I hope the fact that we were platinum sponsors did not help us to win. I hope it was.
Hope so.
It was good, certainly good exposure. We have a lot of things to learn to do better in the future conferences. I think one noticeable lead is that I think the DeFi Alliance folks, Tatiana specifically, are talking to, there are two conferences which are focused on investors as audience, one in Hong Kong and one in Dubai. So I think that's something we should follow up on. Yeah, otherwise it's kind of a lot of leads here and there, and again, a lot of folks from the DeFi Alliance were there. So
very good.
I guess we'll keep following up on those leads. It's not worth mentioning all of them now, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so is there anyone else? Anzor, maybe I'm wrong, but I have seen you on the photos. So you also
Alexander, I'm sorry. Nice to meet you. It can be a bit off topic. Can you accept me on LinkedIn as well, please? I sent you a request. Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
I will. Sorry, I'm like, it's too much stuff, but I'll do. Yeah.
Okay. Anzor.
Yeah. I will. Can you hear me?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I was there, and there was a. Well, the conference was pretty cool, and the Triton booth was, I think, the coolest one. And people were reaching out to me in the in the smoking area, saying, "Well, you have such a nice booth." Well, because I was wearing a T-shirt. There was like, they were like, "Oh, you're wearing the Triton T-shirt. Tell us more about Triton." We were at the booth, and it was really cool. And most of my pitching happened actually in the smoking area, because this is where
that's normal.
Yeah, this is where the most interesting stuff happens usually. And people from the media, people from the exchanges, even some hedge funds were like, "Wow, what are you doing?" And they weren't so much interested, but I didn't stop pitching. So I was like trying to get more info out there about Triton, because as I found out, people who are not following Triton specifically, they're not really familiar with what we're doing. They're like they're not really familiar with our practices of like contests and how we develop stuff, how there's a lot of there's a ton of open source code released every month. So yeah, I told everyone about that. But this conference, it wasn't really that much. Well, it was one of the conferences. Well, as I noticed, maybe I'm not completely right, but it wasn't very blockchain, if you know what I mean. It wasn't very decentralized. It was a lot about hype. It was a lot about centralized exchanges trying to list everything. And the CPA networks and stuff like that. So there was barely any devs. There was mostly people who were like trying to find out what's happening, what's hypey, what's the next big thing. And people who really understood what I was talking about the Triton, about the DeFi possibilities, the NFT and stuff like that. They were really excited after all, and it was a bit disappointing for me to know that Triton is not as as familiar to most of the people, because even though my story usually started with like, there was Telegram, Pavel Daurov, he tried to
was
this
a
project.
Telegram.
Yeah, once upon a time there was Telegram. Yeah, there was stTON. But then when there was the big bad SEC that sort of stopped this whole thing, and we carried on, and so People were usually asking like, what's the big things happening in Triton, and I told them about the different DEXs that we have and different stuff that's happening, like DNS and bots specifically. But there was, there's like, they were usually asking about, I also told them about the bridge. So, or the bridges. So it wasn't like they were looking for some end products to interact with. So I usually gave them some links to our live products that are working in the ecosystem. But I think most of the people are expecting more, to sort of have something that's already is in production state, and to use something, because most of the stuff around us in the DeFi space is popping up and offering some stuff. So what I think we have to get out of this is like, well, let's get to work. Let's release more products. There's just as we have to do nice products, we also have to tell a lot of people, well, as many people as possible, and devs and companies and partners about those products, because well, to present them in the right way.
And that's where we suffer actually. That's why we were at AIBC actually, for people to learn more about Triton.
Yeah, I think it worked.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Yeah. Thank you, Anzor.
Yeah.
Okay. Alexey V, will you say a couple of words also?
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Hi. Yes, I agree with Anzor. There were a lot of people on this conference. Lots of payments, financial, banking, and other guys. Basically, I have met the founders of 1inch. I pitched them our DeFi ecosystem in Triton, and we agreed to like move forward to discuss like potential collaboration. They have like a fund for DeFi projects that they can like provide liquidity with, and they can integrate Triton network to their wallet.
Sounds really interesting.
Yeah. So that's the most useful contact there.
Yeah, actually, normally on such conferences, if you got at least one result, it's already good enough. So you have several, so you're a hero. Okay, thank you so much. Chuck, Eugene, probably you want to say something, because I also have seen you on photos.
Yeah, well, it was a good event. Some nice people. The thing that actually was surprising the most was I think there were more people from Belarus than from Russia. Because, when you sit down with them, it turns out, they're from Minsk. And I didn't expect that. But otherwise, obviously, it's no secret that Arabs don't let neither Chinese nor Americans in right now. So that explains that most of the people were from Europe. Very good event. I met some interesting people. There was a guy from Israel who sells airplanes, private airplanes.
Okay.
And but he also does all kinds of things. So maybe we'll do something together. And it was very nice to actually meet everyone in person, because except Ron, who didn't go, I haven't seen anyone in person ever.
You really? Have you been to a Triton party?
Right,
no?
Yeah. No, he was in Moscow, so I couldn't go to Moscow as well.
Okay, I see. Probably next year we'll host the event in some other city, maybe in Seoul or somewhere else. So for people to come. In Minsk, yeah. Okay. Hopefully we will not be grounded by Mix. No. All right.
In free Minsk.
In free Minsk, yeah. Probably it will not be located in Belarus. this pre-Minsk. Okay, guys. Thank you so much for your comments. So it was really interesting to learn from the first hand. So what was going on there? So we slightly move into the next topic. So we have a new contest in the line coming. So it's stTON that we discussed on the previous call. Actually, so it was polished, it was improved, and now it's waiting for governance members' approval in the governance interface. There's some issue right now with the interface because I cannot load it now to see how much people already voted. But yeah, you just need to do as usual, go to the governance interface and cast your vote. Oh, it's 42% already, so we need one more vote. Yeah, so if you feel capable to participate in the contest, it starts from tomorrow and it will last for two months. And you will need to implement TIP3 stTON token that can be used to rob your rights for the staked tokens in DePools for different ways of staking, from an ordinary stake to the vesting stake and all other stuff that you have there. So if you have any questions, so don't hesitate to ask Pavel and Mitya probably, so about how DePools work. And also there is a lot of documentation right now, so that's attached to this contest. So I think that it should be interesting and will not pose some difficulties for participants. Yes, please.
So do I understand well that this wrapped ST token should provide like the same interface as DePooled tokens is like it's available for staked tokens, so kind of transfer and etc. Should I perform same operations like I can perform with my stake with this token, or kind of like what does it mean, like token representing the stake?
If I understand it right, I'm not the developer, however, but the token should be the owner of the stake. So, and whoever owns the token, so he can claim the stake from the DePool. But I may be wrong. Pavel, are you here? Maybe you can comment.
Yes, absolutely. That's the whole point. So that's why tokens for ordinary stakes.
This is correct.
Yeah, that's why tokens represent.
The DePool has transfer mechanism. Stake should be transferred to the token should be minted and back.
Yeah, the nuance peculiarity is that for ordinary stakes, all tokens are fungible, but for vested stakes, they are different depending on number of cycles of vesting. So that's a peculiarity which I added into that contest proposal. But it will be fun. It will be interesting to have like 100 different tokens.
How should this token behave if DePool is terminated? Kind of it also returns.
I should get on its balance. It's a good remark. But that's smart contract. Let's not call it token. It's smart contract. So it should get the balance from the pool.
Ah, okay. So this token actually is not kind of token, but is transferable NFT kind of stuff. Right?
I mean, everything is smart contract in TON, if you didn't know. So that address will be in the DePool, will be as an owner in DePool, and once the pool is dissolved, then that address will get tons. That's very simple.
Very good.
And,
actually, the contest. Sorry, I want to just comment. The contest does not impose any specific architecture on how you will do this TIP3 token. It can be NFT, it can be something else. So it's up to you, actually. So just if you prefer using NFT, so it's up to you.
The question, the additional question, also short, is like this contest is created and it assumes like it implies some value which we will like additional value in for DeFi from this token. Can you please describe like kind of some mechanics which will be possible with this kind of staking tokens?
It's very easy, and that's why it's very exciting. You can use those tokens like as a collateral for in DeFi. So it means that you stake, you stake tokens, you get rewards, and you use that token as a collateral to some DeFi to get another tons. Then you can use those tons to stake in another DePool. So then you can increase your yield by using that mechanics.
Okay,
that's great mechanics, yeah.
Maybe some like additional use cases, like it will really help to create maybe better architecture for the token. The more use cases are assumed, the better the architecture.
It will add liquidity. So DeFi for DeFi it is very important to have a lot of liquidity in ecosystem, and this will add everything which will be staked. We'll be able to participate in DeFi, so we will get significant boost in liquidity in DeFi.
Yep.
I can describe some mechanics. For example, in Rust node, you will be able to put your token for some years, for 3 and 4 years. And if you will put your liquidity and you will not be able to operate with this liquidity, it will be very bad proposition for investors, because in DeFi and 4 years horizon, it's antonyms. And if investors will be able to operate with liquidity through some derivatives like a stTON, it will be more attractive for them. And in DEXs, we will put some liquidity for farming for its token, and I think we will create big pool, TON to TON like one hand, and stTON like another hand, and it will be, I think it will be traded with some discount to TON, and it will be very interesting opportunity for trading.
So it will cost a little bit less than original TON, or more?
I think it will be cost less, but market will show.
Like, okay.
Yeah, I saw before similar mechanics with Frax shares in another protocols.
Just from one perspective, it should cost more because it like provides additional rewards, but from another perspective, it is locked. So
yeah. So I think it will be fun trading.
All right.
Okay. Any other questions on this topic, guys? No. Very good. One small announcement before we move to the presentation of the third stage of the Polkadot bridge. It's about the farming program that is currently held on the TonSwap.io. It will be continued today, starting from 8 p.m. Moscow time or 7 p.m. CET time. So if you want to participate, so just be prepared and monitor closely once the farming pools appear there. So it's easy as usually. And now we move on to the final topic of today's agenda. So Alex from the WinteX team. So are you here?
Yes.
Please.
Here. Can I ask you to give
already
access to Dmitry Pavlov? Yeah. Okay. Okay, everyone. Nice day. As you might remember, the last time we have demonstrated development, we already successfully transferred TIP3 tokens in the bridge. But at that point, we only had one relay node. In stage 3 of the bridge development, the main task was distribution of relay responsibility. We will go step by step, just like the last time, and explain what we're doing while we're doing this in order to show this. Okay, can you see the screen now?
Yeah? Yes, we do.
Okay, very good. We started the 2 nodes, which is a FreeTON and another substrate base node. And we run a setup which sends the initial value to contracts and deploy them to a local TON. Also set up the substrate node for interacting with .on protocol. We are waiting for the container to finish setup. By the way, this setup now, it also deploys the first relay node. Now we need to start many relay nodes in this contest in order to show that the distribution of relay nodes exists. And we name them Alice, Bob, and Charlie, which is just random names that we've chosen. Okay. Now we're still waiting for the initial setup to finish, and well,
Alexey, maybe you can describe what you are going to present. So which features exactly? While
we are presenting today the main feature, which is distribution of the relay's responsibility, which basically means that there will be not 1 but 3 relay nodes, and there will be some stage of choosing who is voting for the proposal and who is not voting for the proposal. To simplify it in a very simple way. Unfortunately, the presentation is a little bit more like console run. But now, okay, we are ready to continue. Now we are starting the first relay node, which called the Alice, and after which we need to deploy the rest relay nodes, which is Bob and Charlie. So we're deploying Bob. One second. Yeah, it's done. And now we need to check the log. No. Okay, let's start the Charlie first. Okay, we deployed the Charlie. Now we need to open the log windows for Alice, Bob, and Charlie, which are 3 relay nodes basically. Yeah. 1 second. Okay. So at this setup, what we have created is 3 relay nodes. In this demonstration, 2 of them should be active at any one time. So what we created, three relay nodes, but only 2 would have to vote. It's done on purpose. So make run Bob. Make run Bob. Okay. No, we're still opening the log windows, which we will need a little bit later in the demonstration to see that the chosen node is working properly, so we can see what's going on. Okay. So we are starting the Charlie node and going to log of the Charlie. Okay, so now we have basically 3 windows with 3 logs of relayers on the screen right now, as you can see. Yes? Yes. Okay. Our relay nodes sending the public keys to VRF results and signatures to both chains, and our algorithm is sorting relay nodes in accordance to VRF results and signatures in order to choose the active relay nodes. I'm sorry, it might sound complicated, but it's actually very simple. Basically, in the background, we're seeing the 2 active nodes and 1 inactive node to simplify it. That's all. It's a lot of text on the screen, but it will be all right. So to sort of see that it's working properly, we will transfer funds from substrate node to a FreeTON node. And while we do this, we will also see in the logs that, you know, the 2 relay nodes will work and 1 will not, as it's supposed to happen. So we started with initiating the transfer of tokens from substrate account to, let's see the address and the balance. from substrate account.
Oh, I'm so.
1 second. We didn't. Yeah, we didn't load the balances yet. It's the first time we're doing it. So let's see if the balances are okay. It's another screen. I'm sorry. Okay, it's all done. The address and the balance of the pre-deployed wallet on a Freeton network. The balance is 0, so we copy address and signing the transaction in a substrate and submit. Now we need to check the relay node log to see when the relay node will show us the that it's got the event, the initial event of the transaction. And while
probably you are in the wrong window.
Oh, hold on a second, Dmitry. You're showing still the browser. Can you change the window? We apologize. We will change it now. Can you see the console?
Yes, yes, we do.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much, Vlad, for suggesting us.
To result message.
Okay, we see the result message in which one is this log file?
Alice is.
Okay, the Alice is working, so the relay node of Alice is chosen and it's voting, and we will see the other log files of the Bob. Yeah.
And Bob 2.
Okay, Bob is active, yes? Okay, the Bob is also active. And by the consequence, so we need to go to the Charlie. Charlie must be inactive, so we will not see the active sign as the in other log files. Okay. Yeah.
False.
Yeah, the chosen is false, which basically proves that the 3 relay nodes that we demonstrated now, only 2 of them are chosen to vote for the proposal, and 1 is chosen not to vote. It's all done on purpose. So to kind of
balance.
Yeah, this is the last bit of it. We're just showing that the balance has changed, which means the TON balance is updated and the transaction is final. Basically, that's all we have on the screen to show. It's all done. We will just mention that in regards to CI/CD, we have added the commands to deploy and start the additional relay nodes. We have updated the documentation as it is. Everything we have demonstrated and the documentation, everything that's updated is already deployed on a GitHub. As always, we ask teams to join in testing and checking the milestone. If you have any question during the testing of this milestone, it's normal. Please do not hesitate asking us in the chat or send us a messages. We will be more than happy to explain. As we go down the development of the bridge, it's getting a little bit more complex. So it's absolutely normal for people to ask us questions so we can negotiate this. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening. Vlad, it's back to you.
Thank you, Alex. Very nice result. Guys, do you have any questions, maybe suggestions? Seems no. Ivan, maybe you have?
What's the timing? When are we going to see the Polkadot, bridge in the final shape?
Yeah, it's a very good question. It depends on many things, including not only our team of developers. So I'm not quite ready to say the exact date and time.
I can probably guess that it will happen right after the last stage of the bridge, which will implement both economics and slashing conditions, and right after, so it is generally it. Yeah, Ivan, please.
Yeah, like bridges are not my strongest understanding, but nevertheless, the question is, as far as I know, in Polkadot we have kind of parachains, and is that bridge can organize communication between arbitrary parachain and arbitrary Friton, like
arbitrary Friton. Yeah,
arbitrary Friton, yeah, like Friton mainnet, or it just communicates master chains of these blockchains.
Yes, Ivan, I'm sorry. Yes, this product is developed with parachains. There are some, can you hear me? There are some exceptions that might, so to simplify it, yes, it is made on parachains. But if you need to get in a little bit deeper into this subject, I suggest like write it down and we can communicate in more common language.
Okay. So it's kind of deep, right?
Yes, it's not on the surface. To be exact, I'm not as technically deep, and I might say something not exactly correct, but it is, yes, generally speaking, yes, it is developed with parachains, of course, yes.
Okay, and as far as we know, Brox's Ethereum bridge is made in a way that it can broadcast arbitrary events, not only like transfers of native token or ERC20 tokens, but arbitrary events. And is it some? Is there some like a similar possibility to do in Polkadot to be able to like communicate like arbitrary events?
I'm not very familiar with Bronx's bridge. I mean, we are familiar. We know that it exists. We know they're developing, but we're not that deeply involved in it. We can have a look on it and just like as usual in the chat, we will give you the full answer on this question, if you don't mind.
Speaking simpler, can I for example bridge smart contract calls?
Yeah, to simplify, to simple answer, yes, you can. Yes. Hello.
Good.
Fine. Thank you.
Okay, it's fine. I thought you couldn't hear me.
Very good. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Ivan. So, does anyone have other questions to WinteX team? Please don't be shy. Guys are here to answer your questions. Okay, seems no. In that case, just a small also minor announcement that the contest proposal for stTON contest, so it actually passed and it will be transferred to the active contests part later today. So congrats everyone, and developers prepare. Okay, that's it for today, actually, for today's agenda. And for the next time, I'm really looking into having an interesting discussion on the lending in Friton. So if you have some expertise in this part, or you know someone from the big protocols like I don't know, like Compound, or maybe from centralized credit institutions like Nexo or Celsius Network. I will not propose BlockFi because they were hacked here recently. So yeah, you can invite also them to our weekly call, and we will have some interesting discussion on how the collateralized lending, first of all, should look like in Friton, using its decentralized nature, and what is the future of the blockchain lending. So I'm aiming to have the discussion next time. So, and if anyone can help me in preparing this, so I will be really, really grateful to you. Yeah, so that's it from my side. So if you have any open topics to discuss, so just raise your hand and the floor is yours. 3, 2, 1. No one. Okay, guys, thank you so much for attending, and have a nice weekend, and see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yes.